A JSE-listed company says it won't be developing in KwaZulu-Natal because of the construction mafia. Calgro M3 says the lives of its employees and contractors are being threatened constantly. Construction groups have increased their warnings over time about violent groups in South Africa that invade construction projects and demand some of the profits. To discuss, we're joined by the CEO of Calgro M3 now, Wikus Lategan. Mr. Lategan, thank you for being with us. Many South Africans have heard about the construction mafia apparently gaining in strength. Just tell us how it works, what your workers have been subjected to.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome to all the viewers. I think what the construction mafia is all about is disrupting construction sites for, let's call it, personal gain or undue gain on these sites. So Calgro's whole modus operandi when we go into these areas is not only to create homes and build homes for the people of the community, but also to create upliftment, building legacies, changing lives. So we move in, and effectively what we do is we first go in and we train artisans. And on our sites in Gauteng, Fleurhof, most well-known between Soweto, Midlands and Florida, in Cape Town, Bella, we achieve levels of 70 to 80% local labor. Now, what we define as local labor is within a 5-kilometer proximity, people residing there. So we take unemployed people, some employed, some unemployed, and we really train them so that they can also have skills subsequent to Calgro leaving the area. And then we basically make them part of the economic activity. And that's very important to us. It's almost not, we're not delivering houses to them. We're working with them in association with them. We're delivering houses for the communities. And that's very important to us. And they're distorting that, and they're creating an unharmonious working relationship on these sites. So part of what you see in our quality and our value offering is really uplifting people. But therefore, your workers have to be well motivated. They want to work here. The moment you have people that, once they leave our site, gets distorted, extorted, or not happy because of these working conditions, that unfortunately shows the quality. Yeah. The more it shows the quality, the more we want them to go back and fix the quality, and the more unhappy they become. And we're just saying there's such a housing need in the broader South Africa. Why do we have to operate in areas like this in the long term?
Okay, but I'm just trying to understand, do people pitch up and say, we want to be among those who get work? We've heard instances where they want payouts or profits. Exactly who pitches up and what do they demand? How does the construction mafia work?
So just to be clear, it's all from our workers. So we're not all every day on the ground. So they want a portion of what we pay our workers. What needs to go to them generally. And just to be clear, it's not now, it's not immediate. This is a decision we took over the last 2-3 years. The site has been running fairly smooth for the last 9 months. In fact, these units in KwaZulu-Natal will be handed over towards the end of the year. It's historic, but what people don't always realize, we represent private money, we need public money, we're a listed company. We can't just go about, it's about capital allocation. We need to allocate capital where it can be best utilized. And why would we put capital in sites where we can't fulfill our goals and our dreams for the people if housing is such a need in the rest of the country?
Yeah. Mr. Lategan, so sorry, I'm laboring this, but I really want to understand. So they pitch up and they ask the workers, say it's payday, they pitch up and say, give us some of your money, or we're going to do what?
So the agreement is, well, we stop the site. So it's not payday. They have a pre-agreement. So a percentage of what you earn must come to us as undue enrichment. And then if you don't, we stop the site. And remember, these people are working to put food on their tables. So if the site is stopped for a month or 2 or even 6, like it has been a few years ago, then the problem is that these people don't earn an income. Yeah. So they're almost forced to go back and share with them. And that's where the extortion sits.
And if they don't share, I mean, so is it not possible to sort of identify these people and get law enforcement just to come and arrest them? Is that too simplistic?
Yeah, so it is too simplistic. We're in a country that's actually very well regulated from a legal perspective. So it's not as simple as if you unduly close a site or illegally close a site, that the police can come and remove you. We as a private company have to approach the courts for interdicts. The police then have to execute on these interdicts, and all these things takes time. So it's actually a very well regulated country from a legal perspective for the people that wants to comply to the law. And then I must also be clear that in most cases, eThekwini government and specifically the Deputy Mayor's office is offering to assist us, but they also have to follow the legal processes to execute on this.
Sure. So it's very difficult because they can just shut down the site and then you're tied up in legalities. That's what you're saying. And you said you're involved in affordable housing. You've been involved in government subsidized housing projects, I understand, specifically in KwaZulu-Natal. So those housing projects are the ones that are being targeted.
Yes, in our case, it's housing projects. We only do housing, so we don't get involved in other construction. In fact, we don't do our own construction. We subcontract it these days. But we do real estate affordable from, to your point, fully subsidized social housing, CRU units, community residential, affordable rental units, privately owned, and then the gap housing and affordable housing across the country, but more specifically Gauteng, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. And we work in some difficult areas in Cape Town as well, like Kraaifontein, which has been all over the news as well for crime. But there, because of the activities we have in the community and how we uplift the community support us to look after the site, which you don't have in KZN. These people effectively intrude on the border of the local community.
So you're operating fine in other provinces, only KwaZulu-Natal is the problem province for you?
Currently, yes.
What a pity for KwaZulu-Natal. I mean, we know that development is needed across South Africa. KwaZulu-Natal, specifically after the floods. Do you think what you're saying represents the troubles encountered by other construction firms? I mean, if you try and pass on these projects or the authorities try and get new people involved, is that going to be difficult for the province?
So just remember, currently we're trading out the projects. So the project in KwaMashu, that will be completed during December, and our units will be handed over, so that's done. We still own property behind the Kunibia Mall, and at this stage we're going to hang on to the property. We're just not going to develop it, which is sad for the province. To your point, there won't be job creation from that project. There won't be houses delivered or built, which the province and the whole of country need houses, but the province need.
Why won't you sell it so somebody else can develop on it?
It is in the market, so there's someone interested. But maybe to your point, KwaZulu-Natal in general has been targeted by these activities. So KwaZulu-Natal in general is a difficult construction area. I think that's well-known knowledge.
Yeah.
So it is in the market, but otherwise we just sit on it. We're also not going to give it away.
What does it mean, finally, for investment in South Africa, for other companies looking in? Is this a problem well known in your industry, seen as a problem that may grow in the future? Of course, infrastructural development is always a huge part of our economic plans. So you have to have construction firms believing in the system, as it were.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a countrywide problem. I think a lot of construction companies have done exceptionally well. If you look at Calgro at this stage, we brought out results yesterday, and we're up 33% year on year for the first 6 months. So we delivered 1,200 opportunities. We've got a further 4,000 under the construction, which will hand over before February. So it's not a national problem. And in fact, nationally, we're doing quite well and doing a lot of work in terms of housing delivery. So it's specific in this case to KwaZulu-Natal. And I again want to make clear, it's not a decision that we lightly took or took in the short term. It's actually issues that we had more than a year ago, where the decision was just taken only now.
All right. Well, thank you for explaining the situation to us. That was Calgro M3 CEO Wikus Lategan.